Welcome to my island. Well, it's not my island, but it's where I live. So today we're going to be talking all about everything James Island. Welcome back, everybody. If you're new here, I am Bill, and I make videos to help people make better decisions when moving to, from, or around the greater Charleston area in South Carolina. So if you're into that sort of thing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you're looking to make a move in the next 3 days to 3 years, I can probably help with that. So let's get right into this. We're talking all about James Island. Now, I've lived on James Island twice now. Our first apartment was here, and after moving to Johns Island for a few years, we are now back. So we're going to talk everything about it. And we're going to start, as usual, with where and what. Now, James Island is located just south of the Charleston Peninsula, and it encompasses the zip code of 29412, and it is only just under 5 square miles total, with a population of right around 12,000. Now, when we're talking about James Island, we're talking about the physical area of James Island, because one thing to note is that on James Island, a lot of it is part of the town of James Island in the James Island Public Service District, but then there's also areas that have been incorporated into the city of Charleston, so much so that where we live, we are in the James Island Public Service District, and our friends that live just a block away are in the city of Charleston. Now, we do have a fun trivia fact about James Island for you, that Stephen Colbert grew up here on James Island and went to Stiles Point Elementary School, and the Falcons Pro Bowl wide receiver Roddy White graduated from James Island Charter High School. So just a little trivia for you before we dive right into this, because we're going to start off with the real estate and where to live and what kind of housing you can find here. The median price at time of filming is $523,000 on James Island, which is significantly higher than the greater Charleston area of $402,000. So if you watch any of my other videos, you know that the closer you are to the beaches and the closer you are to downtown, the more expensive it is with housing. So with James Island being directly between Folly Beach and downtown, makes it a very sought after place that has raised those real estate prices. Now, the type of housing you're going to find here is a mixture of a lot of things. A lot of the island is actually ranch style homes that were built in the 60s, 70s, and into the 80s with not too much new construction or giant master planned communities like we see in Somerville, West Ashley, and Mount Pleasant. So if you're looking for those really big neighborhoods with lots of amenities, James Island probably isn't going to be the place for you. So let's go ahead and take a look at 3 of my favorite neighborhoods that are all completely different from each other. The first neighborhood we're going to talk about, I'm a little bit biased towards because it's where my family and I live, and that is Harbor Woods. Now, the homes in Harbor Woods, they were built after the mid-70s in the main section. There's a newer section. They're built in about the 2010s, and prices here are typically between $600,000 and $800,000. What you get here is mature trees and larger lots, which most of them are over 1/4 of an acre, even in the newer section. Our next neighborhood is Riverland Terrace, which is one of the most popular neighborhoods in Charleston, and it is right before the bridge to Johns Island off of Maybank Highway. Now, it's bordered on 2 sides by the Stono River and Wapoo Cut, and on the other side by the municipal golf course. Now, the smallest homes here are going to run you about $500,000 to $600,000 average, and the largest waterfront homes can fetch over $3 million. One of the great features of this neighborhood is Plymouth Park, which is right at the end of Plymouth Avenue. Now, it is a public park with a playground, baseball field, there's a fire station, and even a public boat landing into the Wapoo Cut that takes you straight to the Stono River or the Charleston Harbor. Also in the middle of Riverland Terrace is Medway Park. There's another baseball field and public gardens where neighbors can maintain a plot with their own plants. And one of the few areas that does have new and newer construction is Bennett's Bluff, This is a smaller neighborhood located behind the Bayview Soccer Complex, right off of Fort Johnson Road. The homes in here are going to run you from the 900s up to over $1 million. Now there are more budget-friendly options. There are a few condo and townhome complexes, both large and small. And these prices, you can actually find a 1-bed, 1-bath condo in the upper 100s, but be prepared to be living in 700 square feet. So if there's one thing James Island isn't, it's walkable. Now, for a walk score online, it actually has an 8 out of 100. But that doesn't mean there aren't some walkable little pockets. I mean, where we live in Harbor Woods, we can walk, ride our bikes, or take the golf cart up the street. There's a grocery store and a couple of restaurants. And outside of Riverland Terrace, there is the Terrace Shopping Center that has a small movie theater and some other local bars, restaurants, and stores. But that doesn't mean that there's really no shopping or dining here on the island. There's actually quite a bit, and the main commercial district runs all the way down Folly Road. Now there's no town center or downtown James Island. It's all pretty spread out, mainly, like I said, along Folly Road, where you're gonna find a few of your big box stores and some local stuff as well. There's a Walmart and a Lowe's on the island. There's also 4 Harris Teeter grocery stores, 2 Publix, and a Food Lion. So if you ever need food, there's plenty of places to go for that. But then there's also a few little pockets. I mentioned outside of Riverland Terrace and Harbor Woods. Then also right at the corner of Camp Road and Dill's Bluff, there's another little shopping center with some restaurants and shopping going on there. Now, some of my family's favorite restaurants here on the island are Ellis Creek Fish Camp, Famolari's Pizza, Bohemian Bull, and Azul Mexican. They're all fantastic. They all have outdoor seating and are dog friendly. In addition to all of this, there are a ton of outdoor activities and parks here on James Island to get out and enjoy the wonderful weather we have here in Charleston. The biggest being the James Island County Park, which is a part of the Charleston County Park System. It is close to a 650-acre park with miles of walking trails, a massive dog park, climbing wall, playgrounds. There's even a water park in the middle of it. Now it is $2 per person to get in unless you buy a gold pass, and then for the year you can go in as many times as you want with as many people as you can cram in your car. It is 100% worth it. But it's not just that big park. There's a couple little hidden gems. One overlooking the harbor, the Ravenel Bridge in downtown, is the Peter Dimitri Melton Park. Now there's a grass field, there's a fishing pier, it's right next to the James Island Yacht Club. There's even a small little beach that goes right out into the harbor. And then my favorite hidden gem is right here where we are. Now, this is Dock Street Park. It's behind the Dunkin' Donuts. It's a very small park. There's some swings, some picnic tables, and you can come out here on this little deck that comes out and overlook the marsh. It's just a great, relaxing little park. And finally, we're gonna talk about the schools here on the island. Now, according to niche.com, all of the public schools on James Island are rated at a B or higher. Now, there's 4 elementary schools. You have Stiles Point, Harborview, Murray-Lassane, and James Island. They all feed into Camp Road Middle School and into the James Island Charter High School. So what do you think? Could you live here on James Island, or do you live here? Let us know down in the comments. If you have any other questions about this island or any of the areas in Charleston, please don't hesitate to reach out. And if you're looking to make a move in the next 3 days to 3 years, I'd love to be your realtor of choice. Again, my name's Bill. All my contact information is below, and I'll see you on the next video.